And welcome back to the PD Football Podcast. My name is Presh.
My name is Darren.
And how are you doing today?
I'm okay, just a bit fatigued. Didn't get much sleep yesterday and then went straight to work. But I'm good, I'm feeling okay. How's everything on your end?
I'm feeling great. The new trailer for Dune 3 dropped this week and it's got my blood pumping.
You just read the audiobook? Or?
Yes, I did read the audiobook a few weeks ago, but now I'm just hyped for the new...
the movie.
The movie, yes. It's based on the second Dune book, Dune Messiah, which I've never read. So, and I was thinking, should I read it or listen to the audiobook, not read? But I don't want to spoil it for myself before I get to the movie.
To the movie, yeah. There wasn't like I guess you said with the first Dune or whatever, and I know there's 2 movies so far. But you said the book so far added a lot of context, so wouldn't you want to watch the movie with that context?
Not if it spoils the movie.
Oh, so it would still be a spoiler.
I'll listen to the audiobook after I watch the movie to get that extra context, and
okay.
But and I also have to say that the movies are way different than the books.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So
he's taken the director's taken his own liberties and made his own thing.
Yeah. So then, would it really be a spoiler, or? How?
Because, so this is the thing. In the book, Paul sees, he sees lots of visions of the future, but he sees one view or one path that he can't see the end of. And one of the markers on that path is that he kills Baron Harkonnen. I know this means nothing to you.
Yeah,
Right. But one of the things on the path is that he kills this guy, Baron Harkonnen. And we see in the movie that he kills Baron Harkonnen. So we're on the path that Paul couldn't see.
Oh, okay.
So what's happening in the movie is totally unrelated to the book, but it's obviously inspired by. So I don't want to read it and
you just want to avoid the possibility of any spoilers.
Even now, having read the audiobook or listened to the audiobook, I feel like I know too much about the next one.
Oh.
So that's why I'm just trying to keep myself...
trying to rein it in a bit.
Keep myself pure. Don't want to get these spoilers on me. But anyway, how about you? Anything that you're excited by at the moment?
None, culturally, nothing that I can really think of.
Any music, maybe? I know you're much more of a music guy.
A music guy, yeah. I haven't kept up with what's coming out or whatever. I've been listening to a lot of music on my end, some 80s gangster rap, Mac Dre. I've been listening to a lot of Mac Dre, actually. That's probably 80% of my playlist right now. But yeah, other than that, I'm just focused on getting money right now, so I haven't had much time to consume movies or series.
Suddenly, there's a new season of the TV show Invincible. I'm pretty sure you've never watched it.
I've heard about it. A lot of people... it's one of my girlfriend's favorite shows, the animation, right?
Yeah. You'd probably fuck with it if you saw it. But the episodes are 40 minutes long, and there's 4 seasons now. So it would take quite a while for you, I think,
to catch up. Yeah, I just don't have the time.
That's what I'm saying. But if you had the time, I think you would fuck with it pretty heavy.
I would.
But I also haven't had the time to watch it. It came out 2 days ago, and
if we do a cultural review podcast, it'll probably be better in December because we both have more time off.
That's true. And we've spoken about this many times, but the Oscar play movies come out in December. That's the height of cultural importance in the film world.
Yeah.
So December would be a good time if we were to branch out of football and speak about other topics.
Maybe we'll do that someday.
But this is a football podcast, so let's get into it. Manchester City 1, Real Madrid 2. Real Madrid go through 5-1 on aggregate.
Yeah, this is completely what I expected. Yeah, so I think when the fixtures were released, I recall us having a bit of a disagreement on you thought Man City would get through comfortably and I thought Real Madrid would get through comfortably. And I think they're just a team for the big moments. It's not to say how far they will go, but I just felt like they would handle this moment better than Man City, and especially Vinicius.
I'm pretty sure last week you said they'd win it.
Hey? No, I didn't say...
You said they'd win it and then Arbeloa would be called a genius, even though...
No, that's not my... I've always said Barcelona's my favorite. Still,
it's not about favorites, it's about who you think is going to win.
Barcelona. I've always said Barcelona. I said from that side of the draw, I'd favor Madrid to get to the final. But
all right, fair enough. But the point you were making?
yeah, I think again, I think it's just what I expected coming into it. I think I was always skeptical of Man City's form, especially with the amount of chances they were conceding. I would think against the better opposition. As I said, there was a possibility of them being thrashed, and it's not surprising. So yeah, I think the scoreline perhaps flatters Real Madrid a bit, but that's what I thought as well, that they could get outplayed and still win by a thrashing scoreline, you know.
It is incredibly shocking to me because I thought Madrid were much worse than both before the tie and currently. I think they're worse than what the result shows. Yeah.
But they've been in this position before and won the Champions League. That's what I've said.
And I'm saying this is not the team of 2017. You know, they have the name, but they don't have the players. And if they do win the Champions League, fair play to them, but I just don't think so. I think a bigger team, or not a bigger team, a better team will show them, you know, how it is really. And
well, I mean,
City aren't that team, fortunately.
And they're going to play Bayern Munich, who you also don't rate, so one of them will be in the semi-finals.
Well, I rate Bayern higher than this Madrid team.
So, but I mean, I said one of them would get to the semis. That's all I said in our initial predictions, that I think they're both better than you say they are. So,
all right. So City made 4 changes to the team that drew 1-1 with West Ham and changed shape from a 4-1-3-2 to a regular 4-3-3. Ruben Diaz came in for Mark Guehi, unclear why. Doku and Cherki came in on the wings for O'Reilly and Semenyo. That makes perfect sense. Doku was the chief creator for the team, and he did quite a good job. And then, due to the shape change, Reinders came in for Marmoush. Now, I don't know Madrid's team well enough to talk about it, so we're just going to leave that portion out, right? I started the game late, and the first thing I see is Bernardo Silva handling the ball on the line and being sent off, which, you know, that's the stupidest red card to receive, because you'd rather just give the goal away than concede a penalty and lose a man. To make this even worse, Bernardo is your captain and most experienced player. So
yeah, I mean, it was very immature from him.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't know what he was thinking. Like, obviously,
I think it's just instinct.
It's like an instinctive.
Yeah, like he couldn't stop himself from doing it, but still, like.
I mean, I guess the only time where that has ever worked out was Suarez against
the World
Ghana.
Cup, yeah.
Unfortunately, but yeah.
And Vinicius converts the penalty using the stutter technique, which once again I need to say I don't like. It's unfair to the goalkeeper trying to save the goal. Despite being a man down, City are still creating great chances. But so are Madrid. It's a very open game. Both teams getting decent chances. Both teams, it's more that City are like kind of camped in Madrid's half and Madrid are countering. So a very fun game.
They haven't struggled with creating chances. My qualm with them was always that they're leaking chances, and the chances that they are conceding are very, very like high X3 chances in every game almost. So that was my only critique of them. I still think, for me, if they're 2 or 3 signings away with Guardiola from, I still think they'll be ahead of us next season. I'm not doubting them. I just think in current form, I would say that they're just off it defensively. They're just slightly off it defensively to at least be in the absolute bracket that they've been in the last 5 or 10 years, should we say.
Okay. Well, City eventually make use of one of these chances where Doku beats Thiago Putak and puts in a cross that is scrappily finished off by Haaland. He reached some milestone, I can't remember what the commentator said, but it's his first goal in 5 games.
Oh, no, but I think he did. I think he got 50 Champions League.
No, that's Salah.
Oh, that was Salah. Okay.
Yeah.
But you're right. There was a milestone he hit related to goal scoring. But
he overtook somebody in City's history, some guy from the 60s. But that's not what I was thinking about. I was thinking about the first goal in 5 games.
Oh, okay.
Which is not what you would associate with Haaland.
That would be his second goal in a lot more than that, I think, because it had one in like 12 or something, right?
That's not what we would associate with Haaland, especially with the chances that City create. You don't think that their starting striker would be have such a drought, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess at this point it's also a bit of the same situation. I mean, we'll talk about it later, that Saka's in at Arsenal. I guess it's like he's a club legend, so I guess in a weird way, I wouldn't say Saka's on the same level as Haaland. He hasn't won anything yet. I'm just saying that the affinity.
Well, both of them. I don't think Haaland is a club legend for City either.
I would say, I mean, like, I think you can have, like, if you look at Van Persie, okay, maybe not a legend, like a greatest of all time legend, but Van Persie is still considered a Man United legend by a lot of their fans, even though he had only one good season. I think Haaland had a season where
they won the treble.
The treble. I mean, I would say De Bruyne is the main player, but his numbers were ridiculous that season. So I think...
But we've spoken about this, right? Haaland didn't make City better. I cannot recall the stat off the top of my head, but City scored a number of goals, and then the next season when Haaland came in, they scored roughly the same amount of goals.
I agree.
What changed was, it was Sterling, it was Mahrez, it was, multiple players getting these goals. What changed was, it was only Haaland that was scoring these goals.
Yeah.
And he got an inflated goal tally because of that. And now it seems as if though he made them infinitely better. But if you think about it, he didn't score in the semis or the final of the Champions League.
Yeah, I don't think he necessarily made them infinitely better, but I think he reduced it to, like, maybe in the biggest games or biggest competitions, he reduced the game to margins where I guess De Bruyne could swing it in their favor, as opposed to, like you said before, Sterling or Mahrez, who weren't as consistent. Maybe they might show up in the big games more than Haaland, but I guess in the other games, if you look at going out to Lyon before that, going out to Monaco, it wasn't necessarily big teams. They generally managed the big teams well,
I thought you were going to say Spurs.
Also Spurs. But
that's such a slam dunk for you to get one on Spurs, and you just missed it.
also going out. But at the time, Spurs were one of the best teams in Europe, so it's not like they went out to a bad Spurs, but they were better than Spurs at the time, So I think the doom and gloom around City is a bit of an over projection, but I think I think Haaland is probably, the club is giving him the respect they think he deserves. Whether he deserves it or not is another question, but I guess statistically that season and the season after, what he did still stands on its own, like as far as like a Premier League striker is concerned. No one's come close in terms of numbers. Whether it's in the big games or not, I think that's a separate issue, but I think it's more like the club feeling like they owe him a bit of let's play him back into form.
Okay, yeah. So at halftime, Guehi and Nathan Ake come on for Ruben Diaz and Tijani Reinders, and City changed to a back three. Very odd decision in my point of view from Guardiola. Not like you can see it working.
I mean, he's done it before. Against you guys.
I don't recall that, but I take your word for it.
Yeah.
But what I did see here is that he went to a back three so he could throw everyone forward, and then the back three will deal with counters. Yeah. But then in that, he only did it for about 10-15 minutes. In that small portion of time, Madrid went through them a few times. So clearly a mistake.
I think the last time he did it was something similar, because I recall it was a game they played against you guys, if I'm not mistaken, where Mahrez missed a penalty in the dying seconds and it was 0-0. But I think you guys in the first half, you guys were just opening them up time and time again. In the second half, he switched to a back three. But in that game, it actually worked out because they managed to reduce the chances. I think the game finished 0-0 in the end. But
I must have missed this game.
Yeah, I think Mahrez missed a penalty in the 97th or 96th minute.
Then I definitely missed this game.
Yeah, that was the season you guys won the Champions League.
2019.
I think so, yes.
Yeah. All right. Listen, even if I watched that match in HD, I would not remember it. It's been 7 years.
I just remember it so clearly because in the interview after that was when Guardiola said that's the first time he's felt that he had to park the bus in his career. So.
Oh wow.
That was the match, because I was very much like a detractor of Jurgen Klopp.
Wow.
Just because of my affinity to Guardiola and the rivalry at the time. I was a teenager, so I took it too emotional. When Guardiola himself said it, that's when I became a fan of Klopp,
You needed the cosign.
Yeah.
Okay, also at halftime on the Madrid side of things, Lunin comes on for Courtois. I'm not sure if this was an injury. I assume it has to be an injury if you replace your goalkeeper, or perhaps Courtois had
I saw something that said he's going to be out for 2 weeks, so it could be
Yeah, it could be like one of those that it's like it's not bad, but like you don't want to. You just want to be.
I mean, he is the most important player.
You want to take precautions with him.
Yeah.
So yeah, that could be the case. The dynamic of the first half continues with City trying to break down Madrid and Madrid playing on the counter, but both teams getting chances with City just shading it for me. None of the changes have had a tangible difference, and in fact, after about 15 minutes, Pep changes shape again, and Lunin does a decent job of saving the shots at him. So, Ait Nouri holds down Mbappe in the area, but no penalty given. I agree with the no penalty given. I thought, like, it wasn't strong enough for him to go down.
Yeah.
Again, that's one of the ones that are up to interpretation. So, I'm fine to just disagree with the referee, or actually no, I'm agreeing with the referee. I'm fine to agree with the referee or disagree, but it's just up to your interpretation.
Yeah, I mean, it's like one of those ones where if he had given the penalty, you'd also been like,
fair enough. Because he was holding on to him. I just don't think the contact was enough. But that's my opinion. Anything else you want to say about that particular incident?
No, nothing else. I think I agree with you on that.
Vinicius scores a late goal to seal it. A cross from number 14. I'm not sure who that was. Doesn't matter who it was.
I think it was Goulet, but I'm not 100% sure.
And that brings me to saying Arda Goulet had a very good game. I'm not usually a fan of him, but apparently he also had a good game against Elche on the weekend. So perhaps he's coming into himself.
I've read, I mean, like one of my friends who's a Madrid fan, and I've also read from like some Madrid accounts that he's been played a little bit deeper, more of an 8 or like a controlling midfielder, which has suited his game. I think so.
Are you sure that's not from before?
It might have been from before, but I think...
Because I think that's what Alonso was doing with him, and now he's been plagued a little bit.
They push him higher up now.
A little bit further forward so that he, where he's more comfortable.
Yeah, because the clips I saw of him, where he was more in the like left half spaces and slightly deeper, which he usually plays on the right when he's in the 10. So maybe switching him over to the left helped.
That's exactly where he was, the left half space.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess he's usually in the right half spaces. Maybe Arbeloa sees something from the left half space. I haven't watched much of Goulet recently, but
he played in Vinicius a few times. I was very
impressed.
Impressed.
He reminds me a lot, not just obviously because he's Turkish, but he has like a lot of similar traits to Özil. Like I think he fades in and out of games, but when he comes in, he can do like amazing things. But we'll see where he develops. I'm not exactly sure what to think of him because I haven't watched much of him, honestly, to know whether he's better deeper or whether he's better forward. I mean, I think he's a bit like Odegaard right now. I've seen opinions going both ways that, get him closer to goal, and opinions, get him deeper so he can break the press more. Yeah, I mean, let's see. I wish him the best. He seems to be a good footballer to watch, though. So
Alexander-Arnold was once again the worst player on the pitch. Virtually non-existent defensively and added very little attacking-wise. He did have one corner where Tchouameni headed it at the keeper, but it was saved quite easily. So once again, it's not me picking on him because I have some sort of vendetta or whatever. That's just, if you just sit down and watch him, you'll just feel disgusted by how poor he really is. And perhaps it's just because I've always had like a biased glasses on, and now that I've taken the biased glasses off, I see him as he really is, but he's really poor. And I know you were telling me when I said this about him the other day that he's a guy for the moments. Like, he's not going to be 100% every minute of every game, in the action, but he'll pick his moments, and in those moments he'll deliver something really good. And I've just not seen that in the past, like, let's say a couple of weeks since he's been back from injury.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't watched him much, but I've seen Madrid fans who are happy with him. So that's all I can say. I think what is it? There's a guy on Twitter, RM14, one of the coaches I follow or something. He seems very happy with. I respect his opinion a lot, so he seems very happy with Trent playing out. I think he put up a bunch of stats of how many times Trent broke the press as well. So I think he's improving. He's coming back from injury. I still think he's my favorite fullback in the world. So we'll just agree to disagree.
We watched the highlights together just now, right? And we saw every attack coming in from City's left.
Yeah, I mean,
why do you think that was?
That's always been the case. I mean, you can target Alexander-Arnold. I think there's always players who get targeted. Dani Alves got targeted at Barcelona as well. If you go watch Pep's Barca, all the attacks would come down the right-hand side, but he was still the best fullback in the world for most people.
So because Dani Alves was good, because Marcelo was good, that automatically means this guy's good because he doesn't defend.
I think, yeah, he falls into the same bracket. He gives you enough going forward. So I think take the liberties. If you believe there's enough liberties, I think just put him next to some good centre halves, and that's pretty much covered up, you know.
No, it's not. He needs another midfielder to also cover for him.
Yeah,
Valverde was playing kind of a wing back, and Trent was playing as like a right-hand sided centre back. That's how much Valverde was.
Yeah, and if Valverde doesn't mind doing that, then that's okay. You have a player like that.
Valverde went to the Madrid management and complained that he was being played at right back. He wanted to be played.
Yeah, but that's
forward.
when he was playing as a right back. But I mean, if he doesn't mind covering him out of possession,
he's a de facto right back now. All he's doing is, going deep and.
But that's out of possession. If he doesn't mind, he's not complaining. His form's improved, so he seems to be happy.
Yeah, overall it was a fun game, but if Company is a serious manager, then this Madrid team will be put to the sword. That's all I'm hoping for, because fuck Madrid. Yeah, anything else you want to add to that?
Well, I just hope you guys beat PS3, so someone that you hate is getting to the final.
Oh my god. Yeah, that would be that would be awful. Imagine if we made the Champions League final. I would be raging. I'd be so pissed off. Imagine if he won it. I would be so mad.
I would actually I think you guys have a good record against us in Barcelona, so
okay. Barcelona 7, Newcastle 2. Barcelona go through 8-3 on aggregate.
I think I predicted 10-2, so
I don't recall that.
Yeah, I think that's what I also told my brother. I expect this to be 5-1 both legs, but I was close enough,
Once again, I don't know Barcelona's team well enough to talk about their starting 11. But for Newcastle, Eddie Howe made 5 changes, with Dan Burn in for Sven Botman, Kieran Trippier in for Livramento, Tonali came in for Willock, Joe Linton in for Voltemade, and Anthony Elanga in for Jacob Murphy, and then a change of shape from a 4-2-3-1 to a 4-3-3. So in this game, there's not really patterns of play to talk about, but I will say this. Barcelona's pressing was incredibly high and aggressive. I haven't seen crazy pressing like this in quite some time, and Newcastle weren't sitting off either. They were also pressing high and keeping a high line. What a fun match to watch, but because there was a goal every 10 minutes or so, I think we're just going to be talking about individual moments, not the,
Yeah, I mean, I think for 3/4 of the tie, it was evenly matched, and then Barcelona just blew them away. But that's why I think Barcelona are the best team in the world, because I think they have the 2 best players in the world, in my opinion, in Pedri and Yamal. And if they click the way they did yesterday, I just don't see how anyone stops them. They'll do that against every team, just like PS3 last season.
Well, we'll get to it. We'll get to the second half, and I'll make a point then. But let's just go through the individual moments in the first half. And it was a great goal for Barcelona after just 6 minutes. Lamine turns Malik Chow in midfield. So what I noticed was the Newcastle defenders kept getting drawn into midfield, causing a big gap, and then the Barcelona runners would get into that gap.
I mean, I think something Flick probably identified quickly was that they were kind of tagging Yamal. They were double teaming him everywhere, so he just moved Yamal around the pitch to create space everywhere. But wherever Yamal went, he almost always took 2 players with him, and he almost always beat them. So that left acres of space for Barcelona to exploit in other areas. I think it was very smart from Hansi Flick, because you couldn't really pin down a position of Yamal in yesterday's game. I think he was everywhere. He was.
I agree with that. So Lamine turns Malik Chow in midfield, and Rafinha and Fermin Lopez exchange passes, and then Rafinha finishes it off 1-0 to Barcelona. Anything you want to say about that first goal?
No, I mean, just a classic Hansi Flick goal in a lot of ways. So yeah, pretty much nothing else to add.
Then Newcastle catch them out on the counter. Anthony Gordon plays a beauty of a pass, and Anthony Elanga scores. The Anthony connection.
Oh, it was Lewis Hall who crossed.
No, Gordon.
Oh, was it Gordon?
Mm-hmm.
No, I thought it was Lewis Hall.
He used his weak foot to.
I thought I heard the commentator say Hall, but yeah, it was a good goal. Also,
Hall was for the second goal.
Oh, okay. I mean, I think.
Oh no. Okay, sorry, no. No. Carry on.
Yeah, I think it was a good goal either way. I think the good cross. In a way, it's also a very common goal for Hansi Flick team to concede. I think if you even go back to his Bayern team, if you break the press, there's a lot of space to exploit. I think they just bet on the fact that even if they concede, they'll score again, you know.
So then Mark Burnell scores from a set piece. Newcastle switch off and Dan Burn plays everyone onside. What happens is he sits back while everyone goes up. So he is shouting and he's angry at everyone else for going up while he stood back, because now he played everyone else onside. So that's why Barcelona scored. Just poor organization. The coaches need to have a look at themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I guess with Eddie Howe, it's like, where do you stand on him? It's something. I think he's trying to evolve. I think also maybe how far can he evolve in the Newcastle job. I think he seems to overthink a lot of moments, but I think that's normal as well when you're trying to get.
Yeah, because we've been speaking about this Newcastle team and how they're not pressing anymore. And this game, it's like they've been saving up the energy to press in this game.
And it was the wrong team. I mean, I think if there's any team you don't want to press high with all 11 men pitched in their half all the time, it's a Hansi Flick team, you know. I think he just like relies on like teams sitting low in a way, because if they sit low, he kind of dominates possession. He can impose his high line, but he wants teams to attack him. You know, the minute you press him, I think even with his first season at Bayern, I think they kind of flew under the radar. Every team pressed them high and they just almost thrashed everyone, you know, except the final was a close game, but I think everything else they just destroyed them. And I think the same thing will be true of Barcelona. So I think if anyone has the nerve to press Hansi Flick high, they're probably going to experience the same. I wouldn't be surprised, you know.
So Labine tries a back heel in his own half, but it gets cut out by Lewis Hall, who flicks it to Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes then crosses it for Elanga to score his second goal. It's actually missed by like 3 Barcelona players and 3 Newcastle players, and right at the back post, Elanga is the only one
who slots it in.
Yeah. Poor awareness from Cancelo to allow Elanga a free shot, in my opinion. He just, like, his head was not in the game. Like, he just watched him do it.
I mean, also, you know, Cancelo probably falls into the same mold as Trent for me. I think it's a give and take, you know. You take the bad so you get the good, you know.
Both of them are washed, in my opinion. Like, if this were 2018, I'd be like, yeah.
I think Cancelo is washed, yeah, but I think as a player he falls into the same bracket.
Well, Trent is also washed, in my opinion. But yeah, Trippier holds Rafinha and gives away a penalty. Once again, I don't think it was a penalty. I thought it was very weak from Rafinha. He just
again, the same as the other one. If it's given, you understand it. If it's not, you also like.
Maybe I'm just thinking things should be more like physical and more like a higher tolerance for a penalty, because these the two we've spoken about have been very.
Yeah, it's just like one of those things you can't exactly complain about it, because if you go read the rules of the game.
There was contact in the box, so
whatever the ref would have said, they would have agreed with, whether it was minimal contact or maximum contact.
That's true. So it's halftime, and this is probably the game of the season. I start texting like my brother and my 2 cousins, "Hey, put on this game. It's it's going crazy right now." And sorry, Lamine converts. I forgot to mention that. It's 3-2 at halftime. Both teams playing high-intensity, counter-attacking football. But at the beginning of the second half, Barcelona start to slow down the game and play possession-based football, which is not what I associate with them. But this leads to 4 unanswered goals. So it looks like a genius bit of management from Hansi Flick, to go possession-based rather than continue what was happening in the first half. Because even though they were winning 3-2, Newcastle were very much still in the game and in the tie. So a change of tactics is what...
he played into the strengths of his players,
So Barcelona just play a 1-2, and Tonali doesn't track the man, and Fermin Lopez slots home. It's 4-2 very early after the break.
Yeah, I think after the 4th goal, Barcelona began to, just, I guess, dominate every like facet of the game, like kind of blow. Newcastle started making a lot of errors as well. The moments started getting to them, I think, and Yeah, I think Lewandowski came in, put in a classic striker's performance for about 30 minutes. I think that showed the importance of experience in these moments as well, and being able to deal with the pressure, you know.
It's interesting you bring it up because the next goal is from him. He headers home from a corner, and that's when I thought it's probably over now.
Yeah.
5-2.
For now, 5-2 was done, yeah.
5-2, 6-3 on aggregate. Dan Burn comes to confront Lamine in midfield in an almost carbon copy of an earlier goal. He gets beaten, and now there's a big gap in the back line, which Lamine exploits to pass in Lewandowski, who scores. So I can't remember which one, if it was the first or second, but very similar to what happened. A defender goes out to midfield to meet Lamine. He does them in, plays in the other player. They score. They just got caught in Barcelona's little trap.
I think with both Lamine and Pedri, the difficult thing is like, if you double mark them, they can kind of just eliminate those players from the game, and if you give them the space, they can use it just as well. So it's like it's a dilemma that I think every coach who comes up against Barcelona, if they're in form, is going to have to face. You know, it's like, how do you stop those two players? Because I can empathize with Newcastle a bit. When I watched Lamine yesterday, I thought he was completely unplayable. I don't see how they could have stopped him. Like, what could they have done to their structure? They were really good for 3/4 of the tie, and I think it just took him and Pedri 45 minutes to completely destroy them, you know, in terms of control, and just shift the momentum of the game to where it looks like Newcastle were never in it, you know.
Okay. Lastly, Jacob Ramsey slips and passes it straight to Rafinha, who finishes well. 7-2. And yeah, that's all the notes I have.
That's the game.
Yeah. So there was just one small tactical tweak in the second half that just took it out of Newcastle's hands completely. And I agree with what you say. No. I take that back. I think PSG are still stronger, but Barcelona are very good.
I agree that PSG could be a more well-rounded team. My argument is that those two specific
I'm saying
players,
even in attack, I think PSG are better. But we can just agree to disagree about that. Anything else you want to mention about this game before we move on?
No, that's it.
Yeah, nothing really to say in a 7-2. You're like, yeah, the one team was better than the other. Liverpool 4, Galatasaray 0. Liverpool go through 4-1 on aggregate. This is the biggest shock of the round to me. I
mean, I expected it, honestly.
Okay, you can just look at the name and be like, okay, Liverpool is a bigger team than Galatasaray. They should go through.
No, but Galatasaray are awful away from home. In the Champions League particularly. I think they've lost almost every game, right, away from home, except
but 4-0. And, okay, never mind the scoreline. The performance was pathetic.
Yeah, they were shocking. I think the defending was some of the worst I've seen this whole Champions League campaign from any team, you know. But
I just don't know what happened to the team from last week that, you know, covered their bases, that like made it very difficult to play through, and they were so open. I have no idea what switches off in their mind when they go to a different stadium. I wonder. Or what switches on when they're at their stadium.
I think the fans, you know, it could also be that the opposition becomes easier to play against because they're intimidated by the fans, you know.
Another thing is their fans were banned from the game last night. So it was 100% Liverpool
contingent.
Yeah. So that could have definitely played a part that they have no fans there. So, but still, 4-0 was
I mean, their fans are banned off their own behavior, so it's...
But yeah. So in defense, Konate and Kirkes came in for Gomez and Robertson. And then in attack, Slot replaced Rio and Gamoa and Gakpo with Salah and Ekatike. So by the way, Gakpo not starting and we scored 4 goals. Color me shocked. He's the biggest culprit in stopping all our attacks. Didn't stop an attack when he was benched. I'm shocked. I didn't know this could happen.
Maybe Slot was saving the squad for the Champions League run.
This guy. He made a mistake. I'm sure he played Gakpo like too much now. And the medical people told him, just give him a rest this one game. And he did. And now he doesn't know what to do.
Now he's going to win the Champions League and get a contract extension.
Even if he wins the Champions League, he needs to go.
No one's sacking a Champions League winner.
Chelsea did.
Into the draw. I mean, no one's going to sack him after the season. Both Di Matteo and Tuchel got sacked mid-season, so...
Whatever the case is, he can't continue. A few lucky results aren't going to change the patterns of play, the negativity in the squad, the negativity in the stadium, you know.
Yeah. I mean, but a Champions League victory will change the mood for a long time, you know.
Liverpool tried the PSG kickoff routine. which is just to boot it like as close to the corner flag as possible, just to gain more territory rather than possession, which is one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in my life. They clearly take it from rugby, but in rugby the rules are different. It's I truly don't see the gain from this. You'd rather keep the ball, let players go forward, and then just play a ball over the top where a player can actually try to win it instead of just booting it out.
I think what Luis Enrique's argument was that his team's strongest suit is their counter-pressing, so
he pushes them up and then counter-presses them in the
as
final
quickly
third.
as possible to psychologically intimidate the opponents. I guess it's working. So
Yeah,
I mean, even if it doesn't necessarily like work in the moment, I think the idea that these guys are going to press us right from the start can throw some players off psychologically,
Yeah. So either that was a PSG kickoff routine or just a massive fuck up, which imagine.
I mean, but then
nobody's expecting it. And
I would say
it.
is your guys counter pressing your strong suit where that tactic would make sense? I don't know.
Now here's the interesting thing. I don't know why, but this is the game we decided to press in, and I have a theory, but who knows, right? Jamie Carragher on whatever channel he's on, I'm not sure. I saw this in the Liverpool subreddit, so that's why I'm saying I didn't watch it on TV. I just saw the clip. He was telling Onslaught, we don't press enough. From last season where, we pressed quite a bit to now, it's been a big drop off. And I don't complain about this because he's going towards possession-based football. Obviously, if you're playing possession-based football, you're not going to be pressing too much.
All the time, yeah.
You can combine the two and play possession-based with some pressing in moments, and that's what he did last season, and that's what I thought was a very good blend of possession-based and pressing, and that's how we won the league, right?
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, Slot just watches that, I assume, as well, and decides, okay, we're going to start pressing.
Maybe it is.
And so I don't know if he's like Donald Trump, who he believes everything he sees on TV. So on Slot, we need to put on like lots of coaching stuff
on Fox News.
Yeah, on Fox News, unbeknown to on Slot, make him a better coach. We need to like hypnotize him into dropping Gakpo.
Oh yeah, just get Guardiola to make comments about him every week.
This Gakpo guy is pretty good. Next thing on Slot, what is he trying to do to me? Let me drop him. Yes, that's what we need. Yes, so whatever Jamie Carragher says, apparently this guy just starts to do. And now, like I said, I think personally it's a good mixture to both press and be possession based. But that's not what he's shown he wants to do. So I don't know what this is. Is this a turning point where we're changing our entire structure to be more pressing based going forward? Or I have no idea what this augurs, but
he's just playing into the current squad dynamics. I think maybe he was at the start of the season, like you said, trying to move to a more positional game, but I think he's probably still now in the position where maybe he realizes, okay.
But why this game? Why not like the Premier League game the week before to test it out and then...
I think because coaches are stubborn. Like, they will stick to their principles as far as they can until they're being withered down, and then eventually... Like, I think maybe, let's hypothetically say Onslaught is a good coach who can take a tactical interpretation and coach it well. But he becomes stubborn behind an idea that made him win something. Like, maybe he doesn't see it specifically as, it was the individual brilliance of Salah last season. Maybe he thinks it was my coaching that won us the league. So,
well, I would say it's 50-50.
Yeah, either way, I mean, like, maybe he doesn't see it as 50-50. Maybe he sees it as like, I got the most out of Salah. My system did everything. And I think a lot of...
that's a good argument.
Yeah, it could be.
That was
you would know better than me. But
that was Salah's best season in terms of return, so...
Yeah, I mean, you would know better than me, but then even within that, like you said, if there's no player who's giving those returns, you would have to adapt the system. So I think someone like Arteta, who probably we had 2 seasons ago, or 3 seasons ago and 2 seasons ago, our system was heavily based on counter-pressing, I think that's what he saw as maybe the kryptonite to Guardiola's Man City because of how you guys had been the biggest competitors. I think now
he's found a different way.
He's found a different way. So I think that's a coach has to play into the strengths of their players. I think that's what maybe Slot is taking a bit longer to do. But if he hypothetically, let's say, like you said, is an elite coach based off of last season's performance, then if he has a blueprint he can follow, perhaps he can do something special till the end of the season, you know.
Alright, so let's just get into some individual moments. The first goal was a routine set piece and Szoboszlai scores.
Yeah, I mean, again, Szoboszlai was sensational, if anything.
If you, like, there's a man free and he's running onto the ball and you don't place a player there or, you know, attempt to stop him, then you're going to concede. That's, I don't know what to say about that. Then Salah has a penalty save, but to be fair, I didn't think it was a penalty. I thought Dominic Szoboszlai just dived and he conned the referee.
I mean, I didn't notice that, but...
like, he was already going down.
I did notice, like, the angle I saw, it looked like a penalty. But
he was already going down before the contact came. So it's one of those ones where I think they just... he pulled the wool over the referee's eyes.
I guess it's a bit of a... He was the best player on the field by a long way, so it's just a bit of a blight on the performance, but...
If this were the Champions League final and we won 1-0 because of that, I wouldn't be complaining.
Yeah, exactly.
But in a game like this, I can say... you know, it's poor play. We shouldn't be doing this in the future.
Yeah, I mean, with a lot of, I guess, in a weird way, recent years, a lot of the absolute best players in the game, it is something they do a lot. You know, I think outside of maybe Messi, if you look at any of the greatest players in recent times, they from Henry till now, they love to dive. You know,
Suarez, big diver.
Yeah, Neymar. Cristiano Ronaldo, Gareth Bale.
So then at halftime I went to cook, and when I got back it was 3-0. The match graphics said that the goals were scored by Ekatike and Gravenberg, but they didn't show the replay for those goals. And I found the highlights package now, and both goals were assisted by Salah. Yeah. Well, if you count a block shot as an assist, then 2 assists. So
I think it counts on fantasy, but it doesn't count as an official assist.
that's why, yes, I know. I'm counting it because of fantasy. So it's a good to bounce back from that missed penalty by assisting too. You know, even if, like, you always got to keep your head up, even if you're having a bad game. Yeah. And just keep trying stuff. And this is actually why I said, if we're forced to play one of Salah and Gakpo, I would choose Salah. Yeah. Because he actually has a creative bag. He has options that he can access. Now, he hasn't been making the best choices, but it's in a game like this, you see in individual moments he can actually pull something out of a bag, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you'll talk about it now, but the fourth goal was also just it's a typical Mo Salah goal, but by any other player's standards, it's a sensational goal, you know.
He rifled it into the left-hand side corner.
The first touch was also incredible, the way he set himself up. So
they call it a Salah special, but he's only scored like a handful of them. Yeah, like, I would think, you know, slotting it past the keeper is like his most often finish.
I'd say it's if any player made that a specialty, it's probably Messi, but obviously
that's what I'm saying. It's I don't consider Salah has scored a handful of goals, like let's say between 5 and 10. That's not a specialty.
Or Robin, maybe, like, people are talking of him like he's Robin.
Yeah, like Robin did that. Like a Gakpo. Gakpo only has one thing. Every goal of his will be that thing. Salah has so many breadth and depth worth of finishing shots that I don't think you could call this a Salah special, but we're just getting bogged down in nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good sign, though. I think, like, it's hard to judge because it was Galatasaray, I think.
That's the thing as well. So I don't want to take away too many big ideas from this because the opposition was so poor.
Yeah, I mean, now you guys come up against the best team in the world, officially, so we'll see. We'll see. That will be the ultimate test, I guess, right now, you know.
The last thing I want to say is that Florian Wirtz was poor again. And this is what we would call an everyone eats game. Why do we call it an everyone eats? Because everyone gets a goal or an assist. And I think he did get the assist for the Salah goal.
Yeah.
But it was because it was like he's the last touch. It wasn't incredible pass to play in Salah.
Yeah.
He just happened to be the last touch. And I'm very frustrated with Wirtz at the moment. I spoke about him in the previous episode, but I just wanted to say again that you can argue he's just coming back from injury, blah, 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 but what he's shown hasn't been good recently.
Yeah, I mean...
Anything else you want to say about this game?
No, not really. I would have probably said the same things of Wirtz. I mean, it's just, he has, like, moments where, like, he can deceive the eye. A bit like, I guess you could say someone... Like, again, like, I think Ozil, in his peak, was one of the best players in the world, but I don't think he particularly suited the Premier League. Like, I understood fully why Arteta got rid of him, because centering a team around him was going to have a ceiling in a league as physical as the Premier League, that perhaps you could get to the Champions League but no further, So I think Wirtz seems to be falling in the same brackets. Like, I think he has a lot of magic, and that deceives people, because if he has a shit game and does something from nothing, like with Salah, okay, he can have a crap game, but the things he does, like you said, it's a goal, it's an assist. Whereas Wirtz will maybe disappear and then for 10 minutes he's dribbling, he's passing, he's creating, but nothing of real substance when compared to like someone like Salah, who can drift out of a game, and even like Gareth Bale just pop up with 2 goals, 2 assists. And so yeah, I mean, I would agree with your comments on him. That's all I have to add. But I would think at the same time, people need to also remember that he is a young player. He still is like I think like the way people criticize him, that's always what I'll come back to, that like he's still someone who doesn't choose his own price tag. Like I think critique him, yes, but people going on like the things you see online, I don't think they're justified, like a lot of the ways, the insults people throw at him. I think for someone who's just in their first season doesn't make a lot of sense, even if you think
he's not going to see it.
He's not worth the money,
Oh, so sorry. Yeah, I thought you were going to say that even if he's not going to see it, saying like ugly things, reflects poorly on you.
Yeah, I mean, this guy has a family.
Like other people could see it that are close to him, and it's online harassment or online negativity can be a very powerful thing.
Yeah, and he's what, 22? For me, it's still like just out of being a kid, So, what's the joy you get from insulting a person who's in their youth,
I think it's also kind of like, okay, we're doing content by making a podcast, but there's other people who like just do it for attention, know, like they want to be the guy who's best at swearing,
insulting a player.
There's even like fan channels that are centered around like attacking their own players. Like Arsenal Fan TV for a while was like just
they were profiting off the negativity,
Yes, exactly. And fair enough, make football content, but don't like do negative things with what. Actually, you know what am I saying? Do negative things. Who gives a fuck? I'm not the chairman of podcasting to tell people what to do.
Place,
But to me, it's not a good thing. That's what I think.
I think it's counterintuitive to think that you'll get the best out of a player. Like, critique them, tell them what they did wrong. Fine, tell them you expect better out of them. You can even be harsh. Like I don't think Onslaught or even if Jurgen Klopp was there, I don't think they're going to be telling him he had a bad game in terms that are things we could repeat online. They're obviously going to lash into him, but they're not going to tell him, oh, you're useless, da-da-da-da-da. You hope you never play again, da-da-da-da-da. They never want to see you in the shirt again, It's like, if he had done something disrespectful towards Liverpool, I'd understand, Like, I mean,
just being poor isn't enough to...
Yeah, I mean, like Luis Suarez, he did amazing things, but he tried to force a move to Arsenal. People got over that quickly, Like, whether... Like, I understand it was related to his performances, but in that moment of him, like, trying to put in the transfer request and force the move to us, I didn't see anyone saying these things that they're saying about Wirtz, who's actually trying,
Yeah, we're done here.
Yeah.
Now we're going to the miscellaneous section, and we're starting with Sporting Lisbon 5, Bodo Glimt 0. Sporting Progress 5-3 on aggregate.
I mean, that was the only... I saw the word remontada being thrown around a lot. And that's probably the one game where people didn't expect it, but it happened. So kudos to Sporting. I watched the game. I was really impressed with them.
So when we covered Inter versus Bodo, I'm not sure if you were here, but I said I wasn't impressed with Bodo Glimt. People were talking about them like they're this incredible team that plays fluid football, but they were really just parking the bus and countering very effectively. And that's precisely what they did in this game, but Sporting didn't break them down with incredible forward play and creativity. The first goal was a set piece. The second goal was a counter. The third goal was a penalty. The fourth goal was a second phase of a set piece, and the final goal was a counter. It was amateurish mistakes from the team parking the bus, not
I would say
exceptional play from
when I did watch the game, Sporting did play well as well. I think they continuously opened them up. So maybe they forced the advantage to set pieces where it's more play, but I think there was a lot of poor finishing from Sporting side where they could have.
Okay, I'm only talking from the point of view of highlights. So if you have more in-depth thoughts to share, can you please?
Yeah, I did watch this game. I thought Sporting were terrific. Like I think from the first minute they were open play from set pieces. I think they were just completely dominant. I didn't expect it. I was probably the last time. I think last season they got to the quarters as well, right? With Amorim, or the season before, but they weren't as that. This performance was like. I haven't watched them much, so I don't know like what to compare them to. I know they're second in the Portuguese Liga or whatever, but they put in like I think they forced the issue. Like a lot of teams that went down to Bodo, I think this season. Well, in the loss against Dortmund, right? No, who did Bodo beat?
Inter,
yes, against Inter. Sorry, Sporting forced the issue. Like they were also down and out, and they kind of came out and played in a way people would have expected a team like Inter to play, you know. So I was impressed by them. I don't know all the players. I know they have a guy called Luis Suarez as well, who was very good.
Yeah, you scored a penalty.
Yeah, but I mean, he was very good in open play. I thought some of his dribbling was very good. I think Trincao didn't make it at Barcelona, but he seems to be doing well at Sporting. So I was impressed with them. I think in the long run, for Arsenal, as an Arsenal fan, I think both teams would have kind of been the same test because they play in the same way. But Sporting were really impressive in the way they chased that game and turned it around, you know.
Right. Are we done here?
Yeah.
Chelsea 0, PSG 3. PSG go through 8-2 on aggregate.
Close game.
Rosinho, he almost made it, but on LinkedIn he'll say we almost beat a super team. I
mean, maybe he should have huddled around the ref again.
Yeah,
things
for
would
good
have been
better. The first goal was a Chelsea mistake, which Kvaratskhelia finished off. It's so stupid that we didn't go in for him. Not just us, any of the big English teams. He was only 60 million euros, which is, in the current market, basically dirt cheap for the quality that he is.
The quality that, yeah, I mean, I think...
I know you said don't talk about Wirtz's price tag, but Wirtz costs almost double what...
No, you can talk about the price tag. I think just don't pin it on Wirtz, you know.
Yeah, but Kvaratskhelia cost half of what Wirtz did, and he's... I don't want to say double the player, but a better player, in my opinion.
Player, definitely. But I think as well, he, again, from what I've understood from PSG fans, is that he's not the most consistent player. He pitches up in practically all the big moments, but...
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
like,
but
if we're going
for...
the
consistency around it, like that's like a Mane. So
yes, I agree with that.
You need a Mane.
That's exactly the point I was going to make, yes.
Yeah.
We need somebody for the big moments, and that's somebody we don't have. Maybe Szoboszlai.
Yeah, I think you would need someone for the... I think Ekitike is going to be a big player moments, for me, honestly, a big moments player. So I think you could have that already, and I think you could get the consistency from Isak. I don't think the attacking dynamics are really what you... I mean, you said it last week. It's the defense and the midfield that need shaping, and I think in attack you guys will be fine.
Barcola... a player who should be available. Another one, I think it would be stupid for any of the big six to just let him go by.
But I heard he unfortunately picked up a bad injury now. I think he's out for the rest of the season.
Oh, shit. Damn, I didn't hear about that.
And he's missing the World Cup as well. Sad news, but...
that's very shit.
Yeah.
That's not a good thing. But yeah, Barcola scores a screamer from the edge of the box. And then later on in the game, Mayulu scores an almost carbon copy of that goal to finish the game 3-0. So this is the type of game to make me doubt Enrique as a coach. PSG didn't break Chelsea down. They scored screamers.
Even in the first leg, though, I think 6 of their goals were wonder goals. So.
But that's what I'm saying. It makes me wonder if he can only do it with a super team. And I was saying I would like for Enrique to come to Liverpool, but if he came to Liverpool, he wouldn't have a super team. He'd have a good squad. He'd have a squad that can maybe challenge for the league, but a super team we're nowhere near that. So, can he take a good team and change them into a super team?
It's the dynamics I think he'd be working with. I think he would suit Manchester City more.
Okay, fair enough. I'm just looking at the options that are out there, and I think he would be one of the best ones. But I'm not sure how he would deal with substandard players. Because I remember at Roma, he didn't do very well.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Tuchel might be available, and I think Inzaghi also, from what I've read, is not happy in Saudi Arabia. So those could be 2 options that are good at getting the most out of... at the end of the day, Man City is going to be the standard, I think. As long as Pep's there and he has a budget that has no ends, I think everyone's going to have to kind of compete with them, So I think you guys have probably tried the approach. I mean, we've seen even Barcelona go for the approach when Real Madrid were dominating of, we're going to keep up with them by trying to sign superstars, and it doesn't always work, So maybe it's better to get a coach who works with what they have internally, like a Tuchel or like a Inzaghi, that can, I guess, get the most out of players. Maybe find the gems within the system, like the Liverpool way, I guess. If culture matters to you, or club's historical culture matters to you, I would have agreed with that argument, like if I'm talking from an Arsenal perspective. But at the same time, I think sometimes the culture needs to be shifted, Like I've seen Arteta change the brand, and now it seems to be more effective, something that's working better in the modern game than the way Wenger was trying to compete,
Arsenal 2, Bayer Leverkusen 0. Arsenal go through 3-1 on aggregate.
I mean, yeah, it was this... I think this game was probably one of our best performances of the season for me. I was impressed, particularly with Eze and Rice.
The 2 goal scorers.
Yeah.
But aside from that, what else do you want to say about them?
I mean, I think Eze is looking like he might be that difference maker we need in terms of taking the risks, in the final third. I think he was in the left half spaces a lot, not yet on the left wing where I want him, but he was occupying the spaces I wanted him to occupy a lot, and Trossard was drifting in. So I was very happy. This was one of my favorite Arsenal performances of the season, honestly. I think the link-up play between Gyökeres and Saka was also really impressive in moments. I think Declan Rice was the best player on the field again. I think almost every Arsenal game he seems to be the best player on the field, and he also scored a wonder goal. We scored 2 wonder goals ourselves. So
I don't know. I'd say the Eze goal was a wonder goal. Rice, it was just a well-placed finish.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a wonder goal, but I'd say the technique on it was very difficult. The Toni Kroos goal. So
all right.
There's nothing more. I think it was almost a perfect midfield performance from Declan Rice as well. I think he maybe misplaced 1 or 2 passes, but that was it. I think we're peaking at the right time of the season. I'm still extremely scared of Barcelona. I still think they'll beat us, but I wish they were on the other side of the draw. I hope the hoodoo Atletico has over them, Atletico can take them out, and then I'd be pretty comfortable with us getting to the final. But
will meet us.
Yeah,
a PD football podcast
final. That would be crazy, but I don't see us getting to the final if Barcelona meets us, but I'm happy with the performance. I think we're peaking at the right time. I think we'll probably get the Premier League. I hope we'll get the Carabao Cup as well. So
why not 4?
No, I think we can get all 4.
Yeah. I'm not saying that rudely. I'm saying that why not?
My heart says we want all 4, but my head says Barcelona are better than us.
All right. Spurs 3, Atletico Madrid 2. Atletico advanced 7-5 on aggregate. I couldn't find a highlights package for this game, so I can't speak about it, but looking at the team sheets, both teams were relatively strong, so I assume that this was a good match.
I mean, I didn't watch this game. I didn't.
So
I mean, I thought it was dead. I guess Tottenham kind of made something of it. Kudos to them.
7-5 doesn't look so bad.
Yeah, hopefully they stay up. I mean, if they're picking up some
And
form.
like, if you think about it, the goalkeeper slipped twice, and Van der Ven
I mean,
also slipped.
I read that 4 of their goals came from individual errors. So
No, I'm just saying those 3 were like particularly bad, and people are actually saying that Atletico Madrid's pitch is like very poor, and some people are saying it's intentionally poor to fuck up other people.
I heard that from Barcelona fans when they lost in the cup 4-0 as well. But I mean, in that moment it sounded like an excuse to me.
But if it keeps happening where like players keep slipping and sliding on their pitch, you begin to wonder.
It's one of those things that's hard to judge because it looks so nice. Well, on the TV, their pitch looks like one of the best. So
You can't tell from home. You need to be there.
So I mean, I guess we trust the players on this, but at the end of the day, I think if the committees judge the pitch to be fair, then both teams are playing on the same pitch. Both teams have practiced on the pitch.
But if you're used to it,
yeah, I mean, but that argument can always be made. Then what do you say? Okay, the Emirates atmosphere isn't like Anfield, so you guys have something we don't.
But changing the pitch, that's
I don't think they're necessarily changing the pitch. I think.
No, but that's the accusation.
Yeah, but I don't think they would be doing that. I think it's probably just something where Simeone is more like, just keep the pitch as it is. Don't plant new grass. Don't make it flat. Don't make it easier for our competitors.
All right. Anything else you want to say about that?
No. I mean, I'm happy Atletico got through because I believe they can beat Barcelona, but I don't think they will.
Bayern Munich 4, Atalanta 1. Bayern progressed 10-2 on aggregate. So again, I couldn't find a highlights package for this either. But
Who was the last team Bayern beat 10-2 on aggregate? Us.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I thought it was 8-2.
No, they beat us.
5-1 away.
No, they beat Barcelona 8-2 in one game. They beat us 10-2 2 seasons in a row.
Oh shit! 5-1 Norman away.
I think there was a 5-1 and a 5-1. Then there was a 5-2 and a 5-0. I don't remember, but I remember we played them 4 games. I don't know if it was. I think it was from the Jupp Heynckes era going over to the Guardiola era, and the score.
And they gave guiding.
I think the score was 24 in 4 games. So we've been there. We know the bad side of Bayern Munich. I can empathize with Atalanta.
Yeah, but like I said, if Vincent Kompany is a top manager that I hear he is, he's going to eat this Madrid team for breakfast. So,
I mean, I rate him highly. I think. I also think they'll get undone by PSG in the semis, but could go either way.
PSG in the semis. Wow.
I'm expecting PSG to beat you guys.
Wow.
Are you expecting any different?
Wow.
You're saying wow when you have the exact same. You're saying wow when you have the exact same.
It doesn't matter what I believe.
I hope you guys get through.
Okay. Thank you for listening. Please remember to rate, review, subscribe, give a like, etc. Importantly, it needs to be a 5-star review.
Comment. Let us know how you feel.
You can find all our links at pdfootball.com. That's the letter P, the letter D, football.com. Please tell a friend, tell that friend to tell a friend, tell a family member. And yeah, goodbye.
Peace.